Good morning, G2 Nation. Another day in the life of G2 Jake starting up right now. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy. Yesterday I threw in the time blocks. Do you like that? I kind of thought that was a good idea. It's only taking me 300 vlogs to think about that, and it kind of gives you a sense of the day, where I'm at. What do you think? I don't know. Let me hear it down below. Go ahead, go down in the comments. Let me know if you liked it, and of course, like the video. And those of you that are new should be subscribed, but I think most of you watching are subscribed, and I appreciate you. Yeah. Let's get the day started. We're having some coffee. Other side of the mug that you guys haven't seen yet. Ooh, baby. Scratch all of that. I completely forgot. It's not a vlog day. It's story time Friday, boys and girls. And today, we're going to dive into the subject of the new project I'm volunteering, jumping in on, helping out with, the Hella Ratchet. Alright, let's try and take you all the way back and really give you an understanding about where the Hella Ratchet spawned from. So if you're pretty new to the yo-yo scene, you probably have not heard of sorryyoyos or the Ratchet. The Ratchet is the yo-yo. And by that I mean the last 2 or 3 years. Basically, sorryyoyos was a company owned by Troy, and the Ratchet was their first and only yo-yo, I believe. And they were kind of outside of the box thinkers. They did a great job at creating their own style, and instead of kind of just doing the cookie cutter thing, trying to look at what yo-yo companies are doing right now and just do your own in pretty much the exact same way, they tried to do it in a different style, and I really think they started to capture that. I mean, they had a package, so when you open it up, it had a greeting for you. So that.
Hey Victor, man, thank you so much for buying a Ratchet. Remember, it's sensitive, so you may have to tune it. Take that crappy Chinese bearing out, and be careful when you take the shirt out. Take care.
It was definitely a unique touch, super cool. And then their branding and their styles were something very, very different than I think you see with most yo-yos today or back then. But the Hella Ratchet was born at Duncan's last big contest. So this is the last contest I can remember that had like big prize pool money on it. I think it was $20,000 to the contestants in the prize pool, and this was done in maybe 2015. I probably should have checked that first if it was 14 or 15. And it was done in Florida, which is where Troy lived, and then where also Tucker lives, who was part of this. And I'm not sure if Paul lived there or not, or was just in town for the contest. So the Hella Ratchet was between Tucker Holland, Troy, the owner of sorryyoyos, and Paul Escalar, yo-yoing legend, basically. He's basically, if you have a cool trick or a basic element you like, Paul probably invented it. And he's also worked for Duncan, done art for numerous companies, and I'm sure most of you have still heard of him. But the Hella Ratchet was spawned one night between those three guys out hanging out, and it was a artist Ratchet. So it was going to be an artist edition of sorryyoyo of Troy's Ratchet. So these three guys make the Hella Ratchet. They get pre-orders. I believe that there was 50 pre-orders paid in full, the 100% of the yo-yo price, everything, full price pre-orders. And eventually Troy gets the parts, and then right around that time, I don't know too much of the story. I didn't talk to Tucker a ton about the story. I remember it happening, but Troy was involved in an accident and he passed away. So definitely a tremendous loss for the yo-yo community. And at that point, the parts were picked up by either Troy's mom from his apartment with all of his other belongings, or his aunt. I'm not completely sure on that situation. But the parts are gone. So there was 50 pre-orders paid in full. they couldn't get a refund, and Tucker wanted to make right for those pre-orders. Him and Paul wanted to still be able to finish this. So they had a deal set up with another company that was going to, because luckily they had the CAD, so they set it up with another company to go ahead and set it up. They were going to do a run to cover the pre-orders, and then all of the extra proceeds from the sales following that the profits were put towards the pre-orders. So pre-orders were getting theirs for free, and then any extra profits were going to go to a specific charity. That company had prototypes made, and they were good to go. I believe it was at Christmas time, so they said they would do it after Christmas. Long story short, it stopped happening, and I don't actually know. I didn't deal with them, just Tucker dealt with them. So that eventually got canceled. That's where I step in. Tucker reached out to me, told me the situation, the story, and I wanted to make it happen for him, basically, as a friend and as just to get this done. So what we're going to do, right now everybody has he's seeing who pre-ordered and who can provide him proof that they had paid. We're going to cover that cost. That cost is going to be built into the yo-yo that you can buy eventually. Let's make this clear. This has nothing to do with G2. I am basically just a helping hand. I know the machine shops. I have the funds right now to fund it until the payment for the orders come through. And so I have the contacts and I have the site to facilitate it, but nothing to do with me. The only change I'm making is making it so it'll take the G19 pads. I forget what pads it was actually set up for, but I have the G19 pads, so that's the only change we're going to change to the design, and that's all I have to do with it is facilitating that way. But they will eventually go up on the G2 website, and you'll be able to buy them. Like I said, we're going to bake the price into those yo-yos to cover the pre-orders that were prior paid for. So if you prove you paid for it, you're gonna get that pre-order basically, and then we're gonna work it out. So hopefully the price on the new yo-yo, that's all it needs to cover, and then it'll be washed. So I'm not exactly sure the pricing, but that's pretty much where we're at right now. I know this video is pretty much all over the place, and I apologize for that. Weird video, hard for me to make. Multiple takes for multiple different shots. Not something that I usually have to do, but just was a subject that was a little bit harder to deal with, and I don't have quite the a great understanding from it start to finish, just because it's been like about a 3-year project. So hopefully I can have Tucker on the podcast if I ever get the podcast up and running, and we can talk about it, and that'd be a great podcast subject, I think. Anyways, out of town for the weekend, so I will see you guys at the same place, but not the same time. I don't know when I'll be back.